Good afternoon, students. Hope you are doing so well. So, your next chapter is resource management, resource availability and management. So, let's start. First of all, introductory part. As you have learned in the previous chapter, resources are possessions, material, or funds which can be used to achieve goals. You have also learned that money, time, space, and energy are some example of resources. These resources are assessed for an individual. They are rarely in abundant supply and are also not equally available to everyone. Therefore, to achieve our goals, appropriate management of all the resources that are available to us is important. If these resources are wasted or not utilized properly, we may be hindered in reaching our goals. Timely and efficient management of resources enhances their optimism utilization. In this chapter, you will learn about time and space management. So, first of all, time management. Time is limited and irreversible. Time is measured in year, months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. We are provided with 24 hours of time each day to use it as we like. The key is how we use that time. If not managed properly, time keeps slipping away in spite of our effort to control it. No matter how important and valuable an individual may be, one cannot stop time, not slow it down or speed it up. One past time can never be regained. So, in today's fast changing lifestyle, our demands and responsibilities at home, at school, and at work have increased. This has made the need for managing time very important. To be successful, it is essential to develop time management skills. People who use their techniques become high achiever in all walks of life, from agriculture to business to sports to public service. In all other professions and personal life, time management allows one to have adequate rest and recreation along with work. The principle of time management is to concrete on result, not on being busy. People often spend their days getting anxious about the unfinished task but achieve very little as they do not concentrate on what matters the most time. For example, some students may spend their time worrying about examination rather than actually studying for them. So, steps in time and activity plan. Start your work as quickly as possible. Do not waste time in avoiding or delaying the task. When a student reaches home, he should relax for a while, have a meal, and then start with the school work without postponing it for the end of the day. Get into a routine every day. Choose a time to accomplish certain tasks such as completing school work, doing household chores, and then stick to the routine activity. The student should make an everyday routine to complete work in time without any delay. Prioritize your task before picking up any new task. Make sure it does not impact the already exciting activities. Do not undertake too many activities at a particular time. If the time available is less and work is more, then keep the optional task for a later time and complete compulsory activity first. For example, if the student has a class test, she should first study for the test, then do homework, and later get involved in other activities. Do not commit yourself to unimportant and low priority tasks. Learn to say no. If you have less time and more tasks in hand, you should be able to say no to the tasks which are not very important. For example, the student can avoid watching television if she has to complete a task for the next day. So, divide the big task into series of small manageable activities. The day's schoolwork big task can be divided into smaller tasks by dividing the work as per different subjects. Do not waste energy and time on tasks which do not need much attention. Deal with the task one at a time till it is completed. On decide when to deal with it. Do not put it aside before completion. Arrange start and stop times to schedule activities. Appropriate time should be allotted to each subject without spending too much time on each subject. Make a schedule for your activities and tasks. This will help to effectively manage time allocated to each task. A proper time schedule should be prepared for the entire day, which must always include leisure time. Time plans are made according to the individual needs of a person. Every individual has different goals and requirements and therefore a different routine. For example, a time plan for a student is very different from a time plan for a person who goes out to work. So, Tips for effective time management. First of all, create a simple to-do list. It helps you identify the activities, reason for doing them, and a timeline for completing them. Second, daily weekly planner. Third, long-term planner. Use a monthly chart so that you can plan ahead. Long-term planner will also serve as reminder to constructively plan time for oneself. And next is your tools in time management. Following are the tools which help in managing time effectively. Peak load period. It is the maximum load of work during a specified period of time. For example, early morning time or dinner time. Work curve. A device to trace the work against time. Here a 2B is warming up period. C is plateau of maximum ability to do work, and D is the maximum fall due to fatigue. Third is rest period, break period, and defined as the unproductive interruption of working time. The frequency and duration of rest period is very important. It should neither be too long or too short. So, work. So next is your work simplification can be defined as the conscious seeking of the simplest, easiest and quickest method of doing work. It implies proper blending and management of two important resources, namely time and human energy. It aims at accomplishing more work within a given amount of time and energy, or reducing the amount of either or both to accomplish a given amount of work. In order to bring change in work procedure as well as the simplify it, the three level of changing are important. These include the following. First of all, change in hand and body motion. It involves change in hand and body motion only, keeping the same work tools and product. Many tasks can be completed with less effort by eliminating and combining certain process, as for example allowing dishes to dry on utensil racks eliminates the need to dry them by wiping, making a list of all items required from the market and buying them together rather than getting each item separately. So by improving the sequence and rhythm of work, for example doing like tasks together while cleaning the house, all the processes of dusting, sweeping and mopping should be done in continuation in all rooms together rather than cleaning each room separately. This also help in maintaining rhythm. By developing skill at work, knowing and mastering a job well help to eliminate extra motion, thereby save both time and energy. By improving body posture, that is maintaining a correct and good body posture, using muscle effectively, keeping the body parts in alignment, and finally carrying the maximum weight on the body framework, thus releasing the muscles of all strains. For example, use a long handle on the broom instead of bending and sweeping in order to maintain a stable posture. So next is your change in work, storage space and equipment used. This require organizing storage spaces, rearranging kitchen equipment, planning work surfaces with proper height and width according to the user, using labor saving devices like pressure cooker, washing machine, microwave oven, etc., which help in saving time as well as the hand motion. So next is change in the end product. These changes result from the use of different raw material, for example using ready-made ground spices instead of whole spices, using organic seed to grow produce, etc. Making different products from same raw material, for example making kulfi instead of ice cream, loki paranthas instead of kofta curry, etc. Changes in both the raw material and finished product, for example using ball pen instead of ink pen, etc. So that's all for the today. Thank you so much.